Good morning, y'all. Y'all, hello? Hey, where the hell y'all at? There you are. Light. Ain't it great? As in, let there be. First granted to us by the sun, then its reflection off of the moon, then the stars, lightning, the discovery of fire, and then, of course, Thomas Edison. Since then, it's gone through several evolutions and continues to evolve a little bit here, a little bit there. From the filament bulb to the laser light to the LED. And those are all important. And aren't they great? They help us do things like see y'all. Unfortunately, it also helps y'all to see me. Uh, but if you'll recall, I've often said that bad things tend to happen in the dark. That dark. Or any other absence of really great light. So we're actually here to talk about lights. Now, of course, weapon lights are rated in two different kind of categories. So, of course, you've got lumens and you've got candela, and that can be a little confusing to decipher between the two. So, and I'm not an expert. I'm one of you guys. Uh, but from what I've been able to assess, of course, with lumens, we're talking about the brightness of the beam itself. And in candela, we're talking more about the focus of the light. So if you've got a higher candela, it means you've got a stronger focused beam, whereas if you've got higher lumens, you've got a brighter beam. Maybe not necessarily as laser focused per se, but so it's important to know, well, which one does that particular light have and which one is really important to you? And which one's actually going to create enough light for the environment that you're generally in? Now, of course, different environments, different illumination necessities. Uh, well lit parking lot, maybe not so much. Not so well lit parking lot, possibly a little. Um, there's not a lot of streetlights near your house, or there's a lot of streetlights near your house, or you've got night lights all over the place, or you always leave the kitchen light on, or your house is just pitch friggin' black. What's the size of the room? What are we actually trying to see? Are we trying to pinpoint one target? Me, I would kind of like to be able to search for targets. And if there are multiple targets in the room, I want to be able to see as many of them as I can without having to move my light around. Of course, the best rated light, I don't know, it seems to be the Surefire. Of course, Surefire's high candela, so you've got a really intense throw. Um, but you're also talking about a pretty decent cost. I mean, you're talking easily up to $350, $400 for a weapon light. Is it important? Sure. Do all of us have that kind of budget? Dude, you're talking about the cost of half my guns, let alone the light that's going on it. So, for me, for my money, I've said it before, and here we go again. Streamlight. Streamlight makes a really solid light. They are not incredibly high in candela. Of course, they vary, but they do have a really good lumen count. So when you take, for example, and this is a light that I actually have on a few of my guns. This is the TLR 7A Flex here on my Shadow Systems MR920L. I've got it, like I said, on a couple of my other guns as well. It's a light that I find to be a really good all around. It's a 500 lumen light. Fits everything that I've got really well. And it just gets a really decent throw. So you've got your, and yes, the gun is clear. Yeah, you can see down there. All right. For the sake of argument, all three of the guns I'm going to be showing in this video are clear. So just know that. So at any rate, so you've got ambidextrous controls. You have a constant on. You have a momentary on. And you have a strobe. Really cool stuff. Really easy to reach. Firing finger, non-firing hand. Personally, I prefer to use my trigger finger most of the time, but it's a 7A Flex. Also, now this is for more of your streamlined guns. So you're talking about, for example, the Glock 48 MOS. Of course, with Glock, they do make specific ones for Glock, but this is the 7 Sub. Little bit, I don't know if you can, let's kind of see here. So it actually is just about the same size that the 7 Flex is, just a little bit thinner. And of course, the mount setup on it is quite a bit different. It is still 500 lumen. It is still ambi control. It is still constant on, momentary on, and strobe. It also has you can rotate this. I don't know if the other lights have it. I know this does. But you can rotate, and it has a lock, so you don't accidentally turn your light on. I figure I would rather not use the lock because I do check my lights constantly, make sure they're still running. Very important. Batteries die, lights are ineffective. But when I need my light, I don't need to try and remember, did I turn on the lock? Did I turn off the lock? And if I forgot to turn off the damn lock, that's not going to do me much good. So moving down the line, I also have, now this is for my full-size Canik Mate SFX. Sorry, I'm getting old, a little bit senile. I probably shouldn't say it on camera. They're going to have the ATF over here in 5 minutes, I swear to God. So this is the Streamlight 9 Flex, and he is 1,000 lumen beam, same ambi controls. Streamlight does that with quite a few of their lights, and it's something that I really do like. Not just for ambi shooters, but let's say you have to go weak side, you have to go strong side, what have you. And there are those that don't necessarily like to use their trigger finger, or when you get to some of these bigger guns, like I've got small hands, so you may not necessarily be able to reach it with your trigger finger, so you can use your support hand to operate it very nicely. Now, how well do they do? Well, let's kind of see. So while it's not a terribly dark night, of course, much darker on camera, you can see that the TLR7 actually lights up pretty doggone well. Gives me a really good field of view. Now, this comes in really well when we're talking about things like being out at night and having to see and chase off things like, oh, I don't know, the coyote that could have potentially eaten Pickles and I. Yes, we actually had to draw our gun and pull our light one night. Of course, living out here where we do, there are such things, and this is the 7 sub. See, again, really good beam, really good throw, also a good spread on it, and the 9. Now, like I said, that's 1,000 lumen. So look at the difference between the light from this guy to this guy, and the way that they really fill up that area with light. Now, again, imagine what that's going to do to your house. Okay, we're talking about filling some serious light inside of a darkened room, which means way easier to see bad people doing bad things, or even just nature doing nature's thing, such as, again, coyote that one night I spotted some movement as I'm taking Pickles out. You know, Pickles the wonder shithead. I saw a big dark blur go from my neighbor's front yard into my backyard. Right, not very far at all, just maybe 12, 15 yards from Pickles and I. And again, where we live, we do have things like coyotes. Whereas they do run around here in singles, they also tend to run around here in packs. So I don't go out at night without at least a pistol, and I make sure that light works because, again, coyotes happen in the dark. We also have things like bears. We arguably, and you can argue all day long, but I've actually seen a mountain lion out here. Badgers, rabid squirrels. We've even got peacocks, if you can believe that. But there are bobcats. There are occasionally bears coming down from the Smokies. There's all sorts of dangers. So anyway, big black blob comes from my neighbor's front yard over into our backyard. I draw my gun, hit my weapon light, and standing about 12 yards dead in front of us and just staring me in the face is a coyote. Now, I don't know where Pickles the Wonder Dog's attention was. As much as she likes to run her mouth at every leaf that blows across the yard, we're in open yard, pitch black. I've got a spotlight on the damn thing, and she doesn't even notice the sumbitch is there. So, if I hadn't had my gun, hadn't had my light, and he decided we sounded like a snack, well, that was not going to be much. By the by, though it was broad daylight when I saw the mountain lion, I was also walking Pickles, who also didn't notice the damn thing was there. Some guard dog. But, lights. Very important part of any weapon system. Now, admittedly, I don't have them on my rifles yet. I'm still working on those. As I get those, and kind of, I might try out a couple of different ones, though. There's a couple of stream lights I gotta admit I'm really looking at. Again, Streamlight they make really good lights. Believe it or not, I have dropped and thrown around guns maybe, and this guy I actually carry every single day. So throwing him in and out of a holster, occasionally might drop the gun not out of the holster, um, but very durable. Let's call them cost conscious, and they work really well. So I would highly recommend them. Try them out if you can afford, and that more higher candela beam of the Surefire is what you're really looking for. By all means, give them a shot. I also hear really good things about Olight and Cloud. So there are different companies out there, different price points, different lumen, different candela. Whatever you're going to do, make sure that it is reliable, is dependable, it is durable, and has a decent battery life. These average about 1 hour, 1.5 hours constant on. I know I've had this light running for, actually, it's been a year and still running strong. I use it. I use it, not just once or twice. That's the only time I've actually used it, not just to see things, but potentially to defend my life and the life of my worthless ass dog. Bad things happen. Sometimes they happen in the dark. Make sure you're ready for it. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and by all means, please, please, leave your comments below. Love to hear what you think. Until next time, well, bye.